The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First play from scrimmage, Watson going to throw it. Got an open man, it's Schwartz. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield, but all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, a hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nothing open down the field. He had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Now Watson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll go again with Dobbins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing. Because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're...
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. There he goes, right side. Trotting. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Now Cade York for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And trouble there on the kickoff as that goes out of bounds. So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And this is incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They go play action now. Jackson. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. John Johnson with the INT.
And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Watson on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
On second down, a run with Dobbins.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throws on target to Duvernay.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Barney, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed, his elusiveness, and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The Ravens at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns 40. A good gain of 14 there to lose a James. So 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now, right at the 40. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd.
Another run here with Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Tucker's kick is good, and they are on the board, trailing now 6-3.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
The Browns drive about to get started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't you practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
Jedrick Wills, former first-round pick, guilty there.
.3 is our score after 1. It's the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd is Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
The handoff to Ford up the middle. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush your passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down. Now that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Watson's throw pulled in by Schwartz. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. To throw is Watson. He's got the connection to Cooper. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the second quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
This is Ford. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. From the gun, here's Watson. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. Touchdown! Jerome Ford. His first NFL reception goes for 6 as his guys are able to extend their lead. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win for the gift speech. I do say, look, we're put our best foot down yet. But we are and we're still in it. Let's try to string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Able to slither by. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And this goes out wide for Drake. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will be down by a member of the kicking team just outside of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's 4th. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Back to throw, Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him. Complete. Touchdown, Browns. Jerome Ford with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game.
And the Browns will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. That's caught. And he will get into the end zone to bump the lead up to 3 scores. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Another try after the first down sack. Jackson, and that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to
Yo, come on.
Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked by Riley Harrison. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Well, they're certainly in a bad way right now. Not so bad that you can call this one over already, but bad enough that you know you can't toss an interception to open the second half. This just ratchets up the pressure on this team's defense right now.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Watson now to throw. It's caught. Cooper.
Why are you playing awesome so
The
much?
10 to the 9. Here's Watson. Caught on the slant. Touchdown. Amari Cooper. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. 3rd time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And the lead is now 24. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Greg Newsome, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
It's David Ojabo there for the tackle.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Another run from Murray on 2nd down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken
Okay,
down the scrimmage.
safe.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
Now a throw here to his running back. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
He dumps it off to Dre.
And he will have a Ravens first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on third down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Dobbins running out of the gun.
Hold the block.
Again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10.
To throw is Jackson. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Greg Newsome. And the Browns will take over possession here up at the 44.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. A huge play there on the screen pass. 54 yards. I know it's tough to make tackles in the open field, but that one hurts because he got a little bit extra after the missed tackle.
Receivers are coached so well, they have to break at least one tackle after the catch. He did that on that play.
Looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
Here's Sherman. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run for it with Ford. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns.
Jerome Ford, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away.
And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here. So it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd and 10, Jackson eluding the pressure right.
Man, this shit is bullshit.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here comes Dobbins on the toss.
What the?
And he'll lose yardage.
Fucking blasted.
32. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Browns drive about to get started. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. Up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That is first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Now it's Jackson. And now here is another interception. Picked by Riley Harrison.
And with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
On first down, Murray. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's the veteran Justin Houston who got in there to make the stop.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Watson. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
They get Jack Conklin there, the right tackle.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. They'll run it left side with Murray. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Browns on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17.
And now Watson throws another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. But just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, the running crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder what plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling has been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. Your tackler almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Yo!
A pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson flushed out right. And he's going to go out of bounds. Gigantic loss. Kept retreating. Steps out. That goes down as a sack and a big loss of yardage.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Browns defense stands tall. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing.